Turn it on and turn it off.
Say hello to YouTube. Depend on it. The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
If you ignore your health, it will go away. Listen to Dr. Joe Esposito on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're there today. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to talk about something a little different today because every show we do, we try to give you information on how to get well and stay well. And you've heard me talk in the past that in order to have, obtain and maintain good health, you have to have a normally functioning nervous system, a normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. Those are the three things that you have to consider putting into your life if your goal is to get well and stay well. Now, if that's not your goal, that's perfectly fine. Then you don't have to do that, but then you probably wouldn't be listening to this show either. So if you want to get well, normally functioning nervous system, normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. So how do you get there? Well, you have to remove stress. So we're going to talk today about stress management. And it's going to be a different spin. It's not going to be about, breathe. Well, part of it will be breathing. But it's going to be a different spin. As you know, every time we do a show, we put a different spin on things because I want you to look at things from a different way of looking at it because I want to help you get well and stay well. And if you keep doing what you're doing and you're sick, you're not going to get any better. So this always amazed me, even way back in grammar school and high school. And I always thought, as I'm sitting there in geometry classes, and as every student does, why am I ever going to need this stuff? This stuff is never going to be important to me. Well, it turns out that you do need these things. You do need geometry and you do need physics because it does have implications. As a chiropractor, of course, I had a lot of implications in my life, dealing with structure, spinal issues, x-rays, things like that. But there's three things we never teach. We never teach people how to make money or manage money. We never teach people how to have a relationship. And not just a boyfriend-girlfriend, intimate relationship, but a relationship like me and my producers, me and my coworkers, me and my patients. We never discuss how to have a relationship. And then the last thing we never discuss is how to take care of yourself. Now, yeah, I know you probably took a class somewhere along the line in health or something like that. And make sure you take a shower or something like that. But really in depth, like this show. This show really is the ultimate in human hygiene. When I say hygiene, is keeping your body healthy. So this is why I want you to tune in. And we're going to talk about stress management from many different levels today. 1/2 of all doctor visits, this is a study I read, are related to stress. I believe that number is a lot higher. I believe 100% of doctor visits are due to stress because it's either chemical stress, physical stress, or emotional stress. And then there's other things, there's environmental stresses. But if you can get the chemical, physical, and emotional stress under control, your body's able to heal and it won't get sick as much. That's the nice part about it too. So people fail to see the connection between their health and how they handle stress. And a lot of doctors don't know how to address this. They just basically say, well, deal with it. Now, as a chiropractor, my team of doctors, we deal with physical stress all day, every day. You've got neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, and you think, well, I just want to get rid of this headache. Of course you do. But what is going on when you have that headache? Well, there's an inflammatory response. No matter what the cause of the headache is, whether it's a brain tumor or a pinched nerve or a muscle spasm, there's always an inflammatory component. And if you've listened to the show before, we've done tons of shows on inflammation. So if you go to my website, drjoe.com, it's very simple, D-R-J-O-E, we've got well over 1,000 hours of podcast there, audio, video, and you can tune in and learn about how to deal with that from a stress standpoint. But when you have stress, even a strained ankle, that's going to become systemic. What that means is it's localized. Let's say I hurt my neck, I've got a pinched nerve in my neck, give me a headache. But that inflammation now can cause a reaction throughout the entire body. Nothing happens in your body without affecting everything else. So that's why if you have gas or bloating or diarrhea or headaches or numbness or tingling, it's affecting everything. So what happens is when you're under stress, your body releases something called cortisol. So what is cortisol? You may have heard that term before. Your adrenal glands are two little glands. They sit on top of your kidneys, and they release a chemical called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone becomes DHEA. DHEA normally, in a normal situation, becomes your sex hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. But if you're under stress, chemical, physical, emotional stress, it becomes cortisol. So what the heck does cortisol do? Cortisol is important. It's a regulatory hormone. Too much of it can cause inflammation, can weaken the immune system, and it can actually cause you to gain weight. How many people have tried to lose weight and they can't? Many times it's due to cortisol levels. So we got to have some cortisol in our body, absolutely. But if you're under stress for too long, your body produces a lot of cortisol. Eventually, your adrenal glands essentially burn out. And when adrenal glands burn out, you can have low cortisol levels. And that's dangerous too because you need cortisol to manage stress. So you got to get into that Goldilocks zone. And by putting too much stress on your adrenals, in fact, I just walked into the studio, a friend of mine, Monica, was here before me, and she says, what are you talking about today? I said, stress management. She goes, oh, my adrenals are shot. She goes, I've been so stressed out. So yeah, people get it, but what do you do about it? Now, a couple of things you can do to take care of the adrenal glands. Number one is get rid of the chemical stress because that's something you have control over, food-wise. Coffee. Coffee burns out your adrenal glands. Alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, all these foods, the 7 deadly sins of nutrition, can burn out your adrenal glands. So another reason to make sure you have a good diet is so that you take the stress off your adrenal glands. Now here's the thing with nutrition. You have total control over what you put in your mouth. No one is forcing you to eat cookies and cakes and donuts and margaritas and chips, and no one's forcing you to do that. So if you can get simple techniques in your life, maybe that's the right word, to control what you're putting in your body, you'll be amazed how easy it is to manage chemical stress. It's not hard. It's amazingly easy. And once you start doing it, you'll be like all the other patients I've seen over the many, many years, 34 years I've been in practice, and you'll say, why didn't I do this sooner? Why was I drinking the sodas? And why was I drinking the coffee? And why was I having the alcohol? And why was I eating the meats and the dairies? Because now that I'm not doing it, I feel better. I have a lot more energy. I'm saving a ton of money. So why wouldn't you do it? Here's the only reason. This is it. This is the only reason I know of. If you have a better one, let me know. The reason people don't do it is because the other stuff tastes good. I remember the days of meatball sandwiches and double beef cheese hamburgers. And yeah, I remember those days. But now, once you clean up your diet, if you even venture a little bit into that world, you're going to feel awful. I promise you. Folks, got to go to break. A lot to talk about on stress management today. We're going to talk about different ways you can handle stress. We're going to talk about exercise. Do you really need it? We're going to find out if you really do or not. And we're going to talk about chemical, emotional, physical stress and how to really reset your body and your brain. I'm going to actually give you techniques where you can physically reset your brain. That's a good one. Folks, I got to go to a break. My website, drjoe.com. Hundreds of 1,000 hours of podcast there, audio and video. We're going to talk a lot about supplements as we always do. Those are going to be on the website as well, drjoe.com. Hey, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. A lot of times we stream these shows live. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
We know how important the news, weather, and traffic.
We have a screener?
Stay connected to Atlanta and WSB in the iHeart Radio app. Listen.
Say what?
Do we have a screener?
Anywhere you go.
Yeah, Crystal's in there.
Oh,
The other side of the
oh, there you are.
WSB everywhere. Live in the iHeartRadio
I didn't see her.
in the App Store or on
Okay,
Google
good.
Play.
Hi, guys. Welcome. Facebook, Instagram, everyone.
So we got one question.
Questions already? Holy cow. You guys are awesome.
Why do the changing seasons make my appetite go through the roof, and how can I slow it down?
Okay, so what happens is when we go through a changing season, the body innately starts to want to lay down fat. I mean, just like the animal world, when the seasons start to change, what do? They fatten up. And the reason, I believe, and this is an opinion, we have no proof of this, is that we start to prepare, our bodies prepare for winter. We're not sure we're going to have access to the same amount of food we had during summer. Because traditionally in the wild, summer would mean more plants, more meat if you're a carnivore. And so that's what's happening. So how do we curb our appetite? You got to give your body a ton of nutrients. Let the body know that there's a lot of nutrients. You're going to keep giving it nutrients. Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source are excellent ways to help control your appetite. Perfect example. I'm no different than you. Winter starts coming in. I start feeling hungry a lot. I have to have my Super Greens and Essential Source first thing in the morning. If I don't have it first thing in the morning, I'm hungry all day and I want to eat. As soon as I get my Super Greens and Essential Source, I feel better and I can make better decisions. Now, that being said, it may take a few weeks to build up your stores of nutrients, certainly a few days. So don't take it one day and go, I'm still hungry. Dr. Joe's what he's talking about. Okay, so don't lose your mind over that. It may take a little bit to build up. Just like Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support. That's another issue too, because you have to build up the nitric oxide supplies in your body, and that helps circulation. Really popular, nitric oxide. Now, also another thing we're doing is when winter sets in, a lot of people get sick, and next week we're going to do a show on cold and flu. But right now on the website, drjoe.com, we have a winter bundle special. It's 2 supplements. It's Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster and Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. Wellness Booster helps keep the immune system strong. Echinacea, Paudiarco, olive leaf extract, suma root, it builds up white blood cells and keeps the immune system strong. If you start feeling sick, the second you have that first sniffle, that first scratchy throat, I want you to, in addition to that, start taking Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. This stuff it's pretty strong. Ginger, horseradish, cayenne pepper, onion, and garlic, pureed in apple cider vinegar. It's in a dropper bottle. Take about 2 or 3 dropperfuls. I take it every half hour if I start feeling a little under the weather, and it's amazing. Yes?
And now we have a question about apple cider vinegar and whether or not, how good is it? Should I be taking it in the morning every day?
I love it. If you're going to do apple cider vinegar, it's got to be raw, organic apple cider vinegar. Make sure you're spending the big bucks. It's about $4 a bottle, really expensive. Make sure you're doing the big bucks on the apple cider vinegar. Do about a tablespoon or 2 every single day, absolutely positively. It helps the digestive system. It gives you probiotics. It alkalizes the system. It's pretty amazing, apple cider vinegar. Make sure it's raw, organic.
So if stress converts sex hormones into cortisol, the reduction of stress then helps to restore original levels of testosterone and estrogen production?
Correct. Very good. Very good logical statement there. Absolutely correct. And that's why so many men, they get their blood work done. Oh, I got low T, and I got to take a supplement to build up my T. Well, if you take Dr. Joe's adrenal support, that's going to help the adrenals start making their own testosterone again. So you don't have to take an external source.
The problem, not the source.
Treat the cause, not the symptoms. Exactly. What happened was a while ago, there was a company that wanted me to do an endorsement for them. And they did testosterone. So they did my blood work. They came back to me. They said, your testosterone's low. And I said, really? It's surprising. I take care of my adrenals. I manage stress, chemical, physical, and emotional stress pretty well. And they said, no, you really should be taking our injections of this testosterone. And then I got a little deeper, dug a little deeper, and I found out that they were comparing me, 50 plus, to somebody who was like 40, like 15 years younger. And I said, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. I should have lower testosterone in a 40-year-old. Well, that's just the standard we use. Well, it's not the right standard. So it's kind of like a scam. Well, it wasn't kind of like a scam. It was a scam. So that's when I said, no, I'm not going to do your endorsements. So I'm going to be coming back soon. So if you have questions on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever else we're on, send them in. And at the breaks, I'll try to get to them. I got to do my show, too, by the way, Got to tie my shoe. I'm not going anywhere.
Roadwork inner loop, 285 south now before exit 36 North Lake Parkway. That slows you up to Buford Highway. Just use 85 as your alternate.
Okay.
2 right lanes block 400 southbound for Brownsbridge Road.
All right. Ooh, I see. Weather moving into Atlanta. Got the weather map in front of us here. Here we go.
Listen to Dr. Joe. The 5 most dangerous words in the English language are, maybe it will go away, stop suffering, and start getting well. Dr. Joe Esposito is on WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're there. We're talking today about stress management, but not your typical stuff. We're going, as you know, if you listen to the shows, we always take a new spin on things. We go a lot deeper than everybody else. I'm going to open up the lines. If you have a healthcare question, give us a call here at the studio, 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE, and that'll get you right through the studio. That number, by the way, rings through to my offices when I'm not on the air in the Atlanta area. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. So if you want to reach us with questions, you want to make an appointment or anything else, 844-44-Dr.Joe when I'm on the air or when I'm off the air. So I want to talk about breathing. Most of us don't breathe right. How can we not breathe right? It's interesting. You ever saw a picture of Buddha? You've seen statues of Buddha. He's got that big belly, right? And you think, well, Buddha's got that big belly and he's fat. Well, no. If you're breathing properly, you're breathing with your abdomen first. You're going to let you're going to have your abdomen expand, and then you're going to let your chest expand. Most of us take very shallow breaths just using chest. And that's not getting enough oxygen. So when you take a deep breath in, if you think about it, let your abdomen expand. And once that's done, then allow your chest to expand, and you'll get a lot more oxygen into the body. So most people don't breathe enough. So a simple thing you can do to deal with stress management is breathe. But breathe the right way. Fill up your abdomen, then fill up your chest. A friend of mine, I went to college with him, Frank Kinslow, a great friend of mine. He taught us meditation. He was always into the Eastern philosophies. And one of the things he would teach us is when you're under stress, take your index finger and put it on your forehead. And focus on your finger touching your forehead. Does it feel hard? Does it feel soft? Does it feel warm? Does it feel cold? Are you pushing harder? Is it warming up as your finger's there? And as you start to do that, it helps you calm down. It really is a cool technique. And then, of course, there's meditation techniques and everything. I'm not going to give you a whole lecture on meditation. I'm going to start taking callers. Again, we have a lot to cover in stress management, but also I don't want to leave my callers hanging. If you have a question, give us a call, 844-44-Dr.Joe. There we go. I hit the microphone there. Doug, how can we make your day better? Hey there. Yes. Sure was my show. It doesn't sound like something I would have covered. Yeah. Right. No, that's quite right. If you go to my website, go to drjoe.com, look at our archives and see if we have a show in there. And if we do, that it would be covered in there. Okay, thanks, Doug. Appreciate the call. Lots of folks calling in. If you have a question, 844-44-Dr.Joe. All right, stress management, got to cover exercise. Let's get that out of the way. Do you really need to exercise? The answer is probably not the traditional way you're thinking. Now, I understand, yeah, it's a good idea to put on your shorts and put on your leggings and get out there and let's get physical with Olivia Newton-John. Those old enough to remember that reference, I'm sure. Garrett here in the studio has no idea who I'm talking about. So, who? There you go. Thank you. Thanks for making me feel old. Here's a story for you, Garrett. I met Olivia Newton-John. Now, she's a famous singer, for those of you who don't know that. Ahmad, you know Olivia Newton-John, yes? Thank you. Okay. I met Olivia Newton-John. Got my picture taken with her, maybe 35, 40 seconds. 5 years later, she got divorced. I think meeting me is the reason that happened. In my mind, I think that's what happened.
True story.
True story. That is a true story, actually, yes. The part what I think about is in my mind, but yeah. So that's right. Okay, so when we're talking about exercise, you just got to stay in motion, folks. If you don't like it, I don't like going to the gym. I'll be honest with you, it bores me. I don't know, I love moving on from new things to new things, and sitting at the gym I find boring. But do something. Keep the body in motion. Clean your house. Just cleaning your house, if you're in motion for 30 minutes, that counts as exercise. Now, is it going to be as good as weight-bearing exercises, working out with weights? Well, if you move the furniture around, probably. But the key is that you got to get the body in motion. Clean the house, do some gardening, go for a hike. But if the body's in motion, you're great. Now, I've talked about this before. My gosh, we had a lot of callers all of a sudden. If you have a question, folks, 844-44-Dr.Joe. Get a pedometer. It's a little thing, you put it on your belt. Now, I don't want using the one on your phone because your phone has electromagnetic frequencies. And electromagnetic frequencies, I've done shows on this before, you don't want to carry that too close to your body. So if you're gonna work out with your phone, make sure you get an arm strap and put your phone in there. Don't put it, ladies, in your bra because you don't want those electromagnetic frequencies near your breast. Gentlemen, we certainly don't want those near our genitals because they can do all sorts of problems there. If you haven't heard my shows on electromagnetic frequencies, go to my website, drjoe.com, and listen to those because it's going to blow your mind and the way you use your phone is going to change. By the way, you should never put your phone next to your ear. Did you know that? Yeah, if you read the directions that come with your phone, don't put your phone next to your ear because the electromagnetic frequencies can get into your brain. At least hold it a couple of inches away from your ear. Either use a speaker or get an earpiece. I have a wired earpiece and I use that. But never, ever, ever under any circumstances put the phone next to your ear. It's not a good situation because that creates electromagnetic stress. And that's what we're talking about today, different stress management techniques. Another thing with exercise, everybody brush their teeth. Say yes. Please say yes. You're supposed to brush them for how long? 2 minutes, right? So what I want you to do is when you're brushing your teeth, just do squats. I do it. When you're brushing your teeth, do squats for 2 minutes. I know whoever you live with is going to think you're crazy. But that alone is going to help build up those big muscles, your leg muscles, your gluteus muscles, and that's going to help support your spine. And as a chiropractor, I want to make sure your spine is supported the best it possibly can. If you have pinched nerves, if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, and you're working out, you're probably building up strong muscles around crooked bones. And that can make the problem substantially worse. I want you building up strong muscles around straight bones. And that's why so many athletes, professional and amateur, from all over the world come see us in our offices because we want to get the spine and all the joints, all 206 bones in the body lined up so that when you're working out, you're getting a better workout and you're not causing as much damage. All right, let's go to the callers again, 84444 Dr. Joe. Craig, how can we make your day better? Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah, what you want to do is next time you get blood work done, make sure they check your iodine levels. Most of us are deficient in iodine, and the thyroid uses iodine to produce thyroid hormones. You also want to stay away from things that can block up your thyroid gland, and that would be chlorine, fluorine, and bromine. So I'd strongly advise a good whole house water filter for you. Not everything you... Yeah, go ahead. Okay, good. All right, so well, chlorine, fluorine, and bromine are the thing. So toothpaste, make sure I would stay away from that. Anything with fluorine or chlorine in it. Bromine is a dough conditioner. Many times they use it in commercial breads. So you shouldn't be eating bread anyway, so I would cut that out as well. And then Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source are excellent sources of iodine. And those are on my website, drjoe.com. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Craig? I'm going to put you on hold for a second. If you don't mind holding on, I'll come back to you in a second, okay? Hold on one second. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Our website, drjoe.com. You can get supplements there. You can book appointments there. You can listen to our radio shows there. We have tons of shows archived there. And if you have a healthcare question, give us a call. The number is 844-44-DR-JOE. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. All right. Let me finish talking to Craig here. Where is he? Still there? Hello. 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 Oh. I lost him. Okay.
Topical pain reliever contains 2 safe and effective anesthetics. Nothing has worked better for you. Salon Pos Lidocaine Plus, cream or raw.
Oh well.
Hold not working for you?
Yeah, hold didn't work. Yeah, the hold didn't work. I dropped them. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Live radio happens. A lot of thyroid questions. Very interesting. Any other questions, gentlemen, from our listeners on social media?
Yes, I got one. What are some ways to help with osteoarthritis through diet? Are there things to add to help or things to exclude that make it worse? Asking for his mother.
Absolutely. I would drink Super Greens and Essential Source. Sometimes it gets on my nose. Osteoarthritis is always mechanical. It means the bones are out of place rubbing up against each other. So first thing she has to do is get herself to us or some chiropractor who knows what they're doing and get the bones put back in place. That's step number 1. anything inflammatory, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, all of those are inflammatory foods. So when the bone is out of place, there's inflammation. When the inflammation sets in, it causes swelling, which causes the bone to move out of place further, which gets into a cycle. So you got to get on an anti-inflammatory diet. Super greens, an essential source, would be great. I would also recommend nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is going to increase circulation, and you've got to stay away from those acid foods, the things that are going to cause the inflammation. So from a nutrition standpoint, absolutely yes. Super greens, essential source of nitric oxide, and then a plant-based diet. So, yes, more.
What will help dark circles under the eyes?
That's an adrenal gland problem. Dr. Joe's adrenal support, super greens, an essential source, but you got to stay away from the things that are stressing the adrenals, like we were talking about. So coffee is a biggie. Smoking, of course, is a biggie. Emotional stress, we're going to cover that a little later too. But bags under the eyes is a real simple way, it's easy way to diagnose that, it's an adrenal issue. So.
WSB covers Georgia's race for governor.
Awfully loud today, aren't we?
Stop in Macon today,
Okay, we're low here.
in the governor's race.
All right, what else?
That is it right now.
Okay.
We're going to get some questions in.
And folks, if you're on social media, please send in your questions. More than happy to answer them for you. If not, I'll just keep on talking. I got lots to talk about.
What'd you eat today?
I ate way too much today because I took my super greens and essential source late. I woke up because it was the change of time and everything like that. So I woke up late and I got right into house cleaning. And I did my granite countertops and I vacuumed and I did a bunch of load laundry, switched the bed sheets over from summer to winter. So I made a big pot of black bean soup. So I had 2 bowls of black bean soup. I had a salad. I had nuts. I bought a bunch of nuts yesterday, which I shouldn't have because they make me fat. But I like nuts, so I had a bunch of different nuts too. So I ate more than I probably should have today.
Here's an easy one. Can your spine be straight again after having scoliosis with chiropractic care?
Depends how old you are. Usually with children, the answer is yes. We get very good results. With adults, we get good results. May not be perfect, but with scoliosis, if you do nothing, I guarantee you it's going to get worse. The only promise I can make you is it's going to get worse. Okay?
Now, for others that also find gym exercises to be boring, how can they make their gym workouts more interesting?
Go to my website, drjoe.com, and start listening to 1,000 hours of podcasts. Because when you're focusing on, and a lot of people do this, I mean, we joke about that, but I can't tell you how many athletes from all over the world will send me emails and say, Dr. Joe, your show's amazing because it keeps me focused listening to you, makes the workout a lot easier, and I'm learning something as well. So that's why the podcast is there for all you athletes out there to tune into.
I actually tricked myself into working out. After football in high school, I just couldn't get back into it. And I started rock climbing.
Yeah, rock climbing. I like hiking. That's always my big thing. Yep, so.
How much is too much plant protein?
I don't know if anyone could get too much plant protein. It's going to be real hard to get too much plant protein. Your body only needs about 8% of its total caloric intake as protein. And plants are usually around, 6, 8, 10% if you get into lentils or something like that, maybe up to 10%. So you're probably not going to get too much plant protein. And it's easier to break down than animal protein is too. So as long as you're eating enough plants to maintain your weight, maintain your energy level, you're not going to get too much plant protein. More questions?
Dr. Joe,
That's
when
me.
I eat certain foods, every now and then I break out around my nose and mouth.
Yes.
What would that be?
Well, your body isn't breaking down the proteins properly, so you have to figure out what those foods are. Something that might help, Dr. Joe's Digestive Enzymes. Do we have a bottle here? Nope. Okay, so Dr. Joe's Digestive Enzymes would work real well with that, but again, if it's something you're having a reaction to, you may not have the proper enzymes to break that food down, so you really need to avoid it. So.
All right, this is a little bit of a longer one. Do we have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been bodybuilding for 30 years and have read that I need to take in so many grams of protein. Anywhere from 2 grams per pound of body weight to eating as many grams as possible to build the maximum amount of muscle.
Right.
How many grams of protein can the human body successfully utilize in one meal, and how many grams should you consume in a day to build the maximum amount of muscle?
If you're doing 30 grams of protein a day, that's plenty. Because remember, you don't need more. More isn't going to create more muscle. You can only use so much, and after that, it's wasted. It has to go through your liver. It has to go through your kidneys to get detoxified and processed out. So more protein is not better. And that's why so many professional athletes now are turning to a plant-based diet, and their performance is skyrocketing, including professional bodybuilders.
Well,
Look
you
up
think-
professional athletes, vegan professional athletes, and you'll be amazed how many of them are vegan.
Do you think any of that has to do with assimilation?
Absolutely. You can only assimilate so much. And if you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, you're not breaking down your proteins anyway. So more is not going to be better, more is going to be worse. Once again, you got to get to that Goldilocks zone.
And what are your thoughts on the idea of spending less energy on burning animal protein, whereas it's less energy to make use of plant proteins, and then having more energy to make muscle?
Yeah, the number one consumer of energy is sex. The number two consumer is digestion. And animal protein is the hardest thing to digest. So if you're putting all this animal protein in it, you're burning up a lot of energy that you could be using for working out. So it's that whole thing with protein. It started with Joe Weider and bodybuilding, and it's just not true.
Back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches. Maybe it's time to stop suffering and it's time to take action. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, why don't you come see me and my team of doctors, and let's see if you have a problem that we can help. Go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr.Joe to make an appointment today, because so many of you are out there suffering needlessly, and we want to put a stop to that. Come see us at our offices in Marietta, Stockbridge, and Duluth. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're there. We're talking today about stress management, and not your typical stress management. You know me, I always put a different spin on things. So we're talking about physical, chemical, and emotional. And right before we went to the break, we had Craig, you still there? Sorry, I hung up on you there. Okay, so go on. Yeah, so your doctor was saying don't take too much iodine, and I agree 100%, yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. Hyper will become hypo in most cases because your thyroid burns out, basically. So you go from hyper, and then one day all of a sudden you crash. You're thinking, my gosh, what just happened? You went to hypothyroid. Oh, absolutely. And then what'll happen is one day you'll be going, well, I'm putting on this weight, and your thyroid shut down. So, okay, yeah. Good. Mm-hmm. Sure. No, I agree, yeah. No, I'm not saying don't. Sure, well, like I said, avoiding the chlorine, fluorine, and bromine can help. Chiropractically, I would check the nerve supply in the neck right around the fourth cervical vertebrae. That's the nerve supply to the thyroid. And then there are some thyroid supplements. If you call the office, during business hours, I can give you a little more information on that. But there are some thyroid supplements you might want to consider taking as well. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you have a pinched nerve going to any organ, it may not be causing the problem, but can be adversely affecting the problem. Yeah. I mean, getting adjusted or not getting adjusted? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's... Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, from a chiropractic standpoint, we always want to check the nerve supply to an organ, no matter what the organ is. Right, yeah. Uh-huh, sure. Right. Well, in order to find a good chiropractor, the best thing I would recommend is ask around. I know you're in Florida, so you wouldn't come see us. I am licensed in Florida. I guess I can come see you, so yeah. But ask around and find out ask your friends who's happy. Yeah, everybody does different work. I mean, so I like, some people like activator, some people like manual, some people like drop technique. So what I tell my patients is, let's start treating you, and you say, listen, did you like that or not? If not, let's go to another technique. Let's go to another technique. Let's find out what works best for you, because there is no one technique that's going to be best for everybody. I find it's a good idea to take x-rays, because I wouldn't want to go in there and start working on you and something goes wrong. And, that's why probably 95% of the x-rays we take, it doesn't really change our technique. The 5% that we do take changes it dramatically. And so yeah. Oh yeah, the X-ray radiation now is so low compared to what it used to be. And, I have an X-ray machine in my offices. And yeah. I would take it the area if I'm working on an X-ray, unless there's a reason why I would consider something else, and that would depend on the patient. But yeah, X-rays are relatively safe, and I don't have a problem with them at all. So, all right. It's certainly be a good idea, yeah. And if you give us a call during the week, I can talk a little bit more about some different supplements I may recommend, okay? Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it. Folks, if you have a healthcare question, 844-44 Dr. Joe. We're talking today about stress management. And dealing with stress management, we talked about the physical, the chemical, and the emotional. And one of the things I find when it comes to just running businesses and running a practice and doing radio shows and just being alive is whenever I think of something, I have to write it down. And next to my bed, I have little sticky pads. I love my sticky pads. Everybody laughs at me. And I've got the kind with stickiness all across the back. Because if you have just a little strip on them, they fall apart, But I have them in my bedroom. I have them in my bathroom. I actually have an underwater writing tablet in my shower. Because if I have an idea, I can write it down real quick.
This man has sticky notes everywhere.
Yes, Garrett will vouch for you, yes. And how does it work? It works well for me, right?
It works really well.
Yes.
You should see his car, though.
My dashboard is covered in them. But it works for me. So what works for you, write it down. You can use your phone if you want to. Send yourself an email. In fact, right before I went on, Garrett and I were talking about something that we had to do tomorrow at the office. Sent myself an email on it. So you can do these things to help deal with the stress of just life. And that's going to help tremendously. And if you wake up in the middle of the night going, oh, I got to remember that, write it down, then it's done. And then you don't have to worry about it. And then the next morning you can say, oh, this is what I had to do. A lot more about stress management. We got a lot of callers, though, at 844-44 Dr. Joe. Suzanne, how can we make your day better? Uh-huh. Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pinched nerves in the shoulder can cause, or the neck, or both, can affect the nerves in the arm, and that can cause partial paralysis. And so that's why I would strongly advise chiropractic evaluation. If you've had an orthopedic evaluation already, that's great. And let's see if it's a chiropractic case, if it's an orthopedic case, maybe both. But if a bone is out of place, the most logical thing I can tell you is put it back in place. And in most cases, that solves the problem. Yeah, oh yeah, well the nerve syndrome, yeah, it can be a pinched nerve. Whatever's causing the neurological issue, a pinched nerve on top of it can just make the problem worse. So I'm saying the MRI is right. I'm sure the MRI is exactly right, and MRI doctors and radiologists are brilliant. But I would say let's see if we can get those bones back in place and see if that helps. And if it doesn't help, we can always go to the next level. But in most cases, that's going to solve your problem. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. All right, folks, if you have a question, 844-44 Dr. Joe. I know, Edwin, we're going to go back to a little more thyroid stuff, so keep hanging on. So we talked about chemical, physical, and emotional stress. So let's cover a little bit about chiropractic and physical stress. Because if a bone is out of place, it pinches a nerve and it can hurt. But here's the catch. 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. You can have a pinched nerve and not know it. That's why in our offices, we check the nerves that feel pain, and we have a really cool technique we use called applied kinesiology to test the nerves that don't feel pain. Because if you have a pinched nerve and don't know it, that becomes a problem. And so by putting the bones back in place, most people consider chiropractic care as a great way to get rid of pain, and it's very, very effective in most cases. But we also unpinch the nerves that control the organs, like we were talking about the fella with his thyroid and the nerve supply going into the organ. All organs are controlled by nerves. So if you have a pinched nerve, you want to check that. And then if bones are out of alignment, they rub up against each other and they start to wear out. And if they start to wear out, that's called arthritis. So we need to get the bones back in place to help the nerves that feel pain, the nerves that don't feel pain, and hopefully stop the bones from wearing out. Folks, if you have a healthcare question, 844-44 Dr. Joe. The supplements we talk about, the super greens, the essential source, absolute, the minimum amount of nutrients you need every single day. I take super greens and essential source every day. You probably should too. The nitric oxide, the B complex, the digestive enzymes, all of those are on my website, drjoe.com. So make sure you go to the website, order what you need. Well over 1,000 hours of podcast. And if you want to make an appointment to come see us, In the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Hey, don't go anywhere. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We'll be right back.
Like most people, you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches. Maybe it's time to stop suffering and it's time to take action. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, why don't you come see me and my team of doctors, and let's see if you have a problem that we can help. Go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-DR-JOE to make an appointment today, because so many of you are out there suffering needlessly, and we want to put a stop to that. Come see us at our offices in Marietta, Stockbridge, and Duluth. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Okay.
So we were talking about assimilation.
Yes.
Between animal protein and plant protein. Now, once you're vegan, how can you increase protein assimilation?
By fixing the digestive system, whether you're animal-based or plant-based. Your stomach, we'll talk about this a little bit with digestive issues, your stomach sits below your diaphragm. And in so many cases, the stomach pushes up against the diaphragm and it spasms. And when the stomach spasms, you can't break down your proteins properly. So in cases like that, you need to come see us if you can, if you're in the area, and we can adjust or pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. That is an amazing adjustment. Acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, chronic cough, sinus problems, sore throat, could all be acid coming up into your throat. And when you pull the stomach away from the diaphragm and you start digesting your food and the gas and the bloating and the acid reflux starts to get better, you're very happy. People want to name their kids after us when we fix their stomach. Then you start taking Dr. Joe's Digestive Enzymes whenever you eat something cooked. So I had black bean soup today. And what I did was I took Dr. Joe's Digestive Enzymes on top of it because it was cooked. If I have a salad, it's raw, I don't take the enzymes with it. So it's real simple to help assimilation, to break down the proteins. But you got to realize you got to take a piece of steak, dissolve it into these little tiny amino acids, then reabsorb it and utilize it. It's a lot of work. And so you can take the stress off the body by physically fixing it and then chemically with the Dr. Joe's enzymes. And the Super Greens, the essential source, are also raw. Most of it's raw, and so they give you enzymes as well.
So one more question here from Rex. In your opinion, what are the best pre-workout supplements for energy and maximum blood flow to the muscle?
Nitric oxide, Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support, absolutely, positively, without a doubt. Four tablets right before you work out, 4 capsules, they work great. And then the Super Greens, the essential source. So I start my day, Super Greens, essential source, and nitric oxide. I take B-complex as well. That's going to give you a lot of energy, and Dr. Joe's adrenal support. And that's one of the reasons at my age, I can still run circles around you young punks, because I keep my body as healthy as I possibly can. So that's going to be an amazing pre-work, or just starting your day. I haven't had a cup of coffee in, I don't know, 40 years. So far, so good.
What do you think about things like creatine or...
Creatine is way too much stress on the kidneys. If you're going to, the liver, I'm sorry. So if you're breaking down your proteins, you're going to get creatine as one of your amino acids. When you large dose creatine, could it help? Yes. Could it cause problems? Yes. So I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to build up my muscles and then get sick from it, or worse.
What about casein protein or whey protein?
Yeah, whey and casein protein. We don't have the enzyme called renin. Renin breaks down casein. Renin is an enzyme that we have as children, but our renin is designed to break down human milk, not cow's milk. So there's different types of caseins and different types of renin, which is the enzyme. As adults, we don't produce it. So the whole fact of taking whey protein and that's insane to me. I can't wrap my mind around it, even if I want to play devil's advocate. It makes no sense to me. We don't have the enzymes to do it. What else?
That is it so far.
Okay, I'll take that.
What is your general workout procedure or protocol?
Like I said, when I brush my teeth, I do my squats. I'm constantly in motion, which is good. I do my 10,000 steps a day. And then I add things to it. Like if I have time to go for a hike, I love going for a hike. There's some great woods right behind one of my offices in Marietta. And I'll go out there for an hour and just go up and down and around the town. Got to make sure I'm not coming on. I'm sorry. And then things like housework. And stay in motion and keep the body moving. And so I don't necessarily do a hardcore organized workout. I'd rather just keep my body in motion. And my grandfather, my German grandfather, when I played football and hockey, and I talked about going to the gym, he said, "Ugh, you want muscles? Here's a shovel, go dig a hole." And he had practical muscles. And that's the thing too, is if you're just working out your pecs, there's a lot of other muscles involved. When you're doing activity, you're using up a lot of other muscles that you wouldn't use just going to the gym, isolating. And that I feel is much better and much safer. And as a chiropractic, from a chiropractic standpoint, that's what I like to see, having all the muscles working, not just your big biceps and your big triceps.
Just use I-85 as an alternate to right lane.
Because you've got the anconius muscle. When was the last time you worked out your anconius muscle? Look that one up.
I'm about to.
11 minutes to travel from 285 up to Highway 316, 9 minutes to go southbound that same distance.
Says, thanks, Dr. Joe. You definitely do not need coffee.
Imagine that. Imagine if I had coffee.
Scary thought.
Here we go.
Independence are important to you. Start today with something completely in your control. Your health. Dr. Joe Esposito is on.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're there because we're talking today about stress management and not your, just sit around, meditate, face east and make om noises, which by the way is a very good way to deal with stress management. But we're talking about other things we can do, the physical, the chemical, the emotional, the environmental stresses, the social stresses that go on, relationship stresses. And here's the thing with emotional stress. If you take care of the chemical, and then if you have physical issues, come see us for the physical issues, the neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, muscle spasms. If we can get the chemical and the physical stresses under control, the emotional stresses are a lot easier to deal with. And somebody always asks about the digestive system. About 85% of patients I check have some digestive issue. I'm going to start taking some more callers. When I come back, I'm going to talk how acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating can be such a chemical stress and a physical stress, which leads to neurotransmitters in the brain and emotional stress. So your digestive system is going to be key to deal with chemical, physical, and emotional. I'm going to cover that in just a second, so don't go anywhere. Let's go to Edwin. Big day for thyroid questions. Edwin? I couldn't be happier. I'm so glad you're with us. What's your question on thyroid? Yes. Yes, stress can absolutely positively affect your thyroid, and when it comes to baldness, your thyroid is a big player. You have to have, there's the axis. It's a pituitary, thyroid, and adrenal gland axis, and all of them feed off each other. And so you can have a thyroid problem, which is actually being caused by an adrenal gland problem. And everybody keeps trying to treat the thyroid, but it's the adrenal glands. Could be a pituitary gland issue, because the pituitary gland is the master gland. It controls everything. So when patients come in our office, we do a workup on the patient. We try to find out where their shortcomings are. Most people, to get the pituitary, thyroid, and adrenal axis working, is we got to get them off the bad foods, the 7 deadly sins, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. Get them on some good foods. Minimum amount of nutrients you should be taking every day. Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. The nitric oxide, as we get older, is very good for circulation. That's very important as well to have good circulation. B vitamins are going to be really important to make the body work properly. And with the Super Greens, the Essential Source, there's sea vegetables in each one of them, which is a great source of iodine. It's not an overly large amount of iodine, but you got to get the iodine working as well. Then we can always send you out for a hormone panel. We can send you out for blood work, and we can do an adrenal test on you. We can do an adrenal test on saliva as well. But we can test the adrenals, we can test the thyroid and find out if there's any shortcomings, and if there are, then we customize a plan specifically for you. So that's how we work with thyroid patients. Okay? Yeah, we send you out for the blood work. We have a laboratory we send you to. They do the blood work, and then you and I sit down with it, or one of my doctors. We go over it all together, and then we put together a protocol for you. Absolutely. Well, Edwin, you're my new favorite person. I appreciate you spreading the word. Thanks so much. All right, man. Yeah, folks, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, because we do a live stream a lot of our shows, and then we take those live streams, we put them on our website, because some people are visual learners and you want to watch me do my shows. I take any live lectures I do, I put them on my website as well, drjoe.com. And also, do me this favor, send me your email address. I'm never going to give it out, I promise you. We're not going to sell it to other companies or give it away, trade it out. It's only between us and you. Because we do send out a newsletter. And in a newsletter, we cover things. Maybe we'll give you recipes. We'll give you ideas on how to stay healthy. And sometimes Garrett gets a little crazy and runs a special on supplements. And if you get the newsletter, you'll know about specials that we're running. Maybe it's free shipping. Maybe it's a discount. I know in the winter we do a winter package that we run, a winter bundle. And it's Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster. which has herbs in it that have been shown to help stimulate the immune system. And then we have something called seasonal tonic. And a seasonal tonic is, it tastes the way it sounds. Ginger, horseradish, cayenne pepper, onion, and garlic, pureed in an apple cider vinegar. So it tastes like a pretty strong salad dressing, actually. But I take the wellness booster every day, especially in the winter. And then if I feel myself getting a little stressed out, if I feel a little scratchy throat, runny nose, I start taking the seasonal tonic right away, because that's the thing that's going to help fight the infection. Also, I'd be remiss if I don't mention it. You have to keep your vitamin D levels up. Absolutely, positively. Now, next week, we're going to do a show all on cold and flu and supplements and things you can do and things you shouldn't do. Really good show. One of my more popular shows and one of the popular lectures that we do. That's going to be next week. But the vitamin D, Dr. Joe's vitamin D is on the website too. I take 5 drops a day. That's 5,000 international units. So between the vitamin D, the wellness booster, the seasonal tonic, the super greens and essential source, the nitric oxide for circulation, the B complex for brain function and nerve function, and then the adrenal support, because the adrenal support fights inflammation. That's my protocol right there. That's what I take every single day. And I can take any supplement in the world. And I choose to take these because these are the ones I help formulate, and these are the ones I know are going to give you good quality. And we try to keep the prices low so that you can afford them. But I tell you what, there's nothing in the world like health, man. I've been sick and I've been healthy. It's a lot more fun being healthy. And then we have chiropractic on top of that, because pinched nerves can affect organs and joints wear out and pain issues. And it's a pretty cool protocol we've got put together there. Speaking of pain, Shelly, how can we make your day better? Sure, I understand. I understand. Oh my gosh, it was so bad she couldn't even graduate. Yeah, well, in cases like that, have you had an MRI yet? I'm running out of time. That's why I'm rushing you a little bit. Perfect. Good. Got it. Well, I'm glad you've done all that, because now we know what it's not. The MRI, the CAT scan, were all negative. Sounds like the skull and or the bones in her neck are twisted out of place. We see cases like her all day, every day. This is not uncommon, what you're telling me. And I have headaches. I have an old neck injury, and when it flares up, I get a headache. I go get adjusted. So I'd recommend, you're not far from us, from our Duluth office, give us a call at 844-44-4 Dr. Joe. You know, we're not on the air. Let's see if we can get her in. Let's take a look at her and see if we can help her. I look forward to seeing you soon, Shelly. And folks, that number, 844-44 Dr. Joe. If you have questions, you can call in right now. And if we're not on the air, you can call that and it'll go through my to my offices as well. The website to order supplements, book appointments, listen to podcasts, drjoe.com. Hey, folks, thanks for telling your friends. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Well, it turns out Florence was just a test to make sure.
Boop. All right. We have a note coming in. It says...
We are the most popular health and wellness live stream.
We are?
We are.
Woohoo! We are the most popular health and wellness live stream in the world?
In the world.
In the world. We're #1. Thank you, guys, because of you. Can I say that on the air when we come back? Excellent. Cool. Make sure you remind me, because I forget. I'm old. I forget things. You know. That's great. I didn't realize that. How about that?
All right. Mr. Smith has a question. He says, Dr. Joe, I'm an over-the-road trucker, and my back and spine take a pounding.
Oh, sure.
Are there any exercises or stretching that I can do to realign my spine and get my vertebrae back in place while I'm on the road?
Absolutely. I used to be a truck driver. Full disclosure, I was a truck driver in New York City, out of Secaucus, New Jersey. And we used to deliver the tri-state area. So I was a straight job. It wasn't over the road. So we'd go out every morning, come back every night. And I totally understand what you're going through. And if you're over the road trucker, that's a whole lot more. What you can do in a case like that is do some yoga. Yoga is going to be the best thing for you because it's very gentle. And you don't say how old you are, but I don't like aggressive, like when aerobics were popular. I didn't like that because as a chiropractor, I'd see so many people come in with aerobic injuries. And then we have these super hardcore, I won't say the brand name, but you jump up and down, you do a lot of lifting and everything. I get injuries like that, patients coming in 2 or 3 times a week. Doc, it was just too much for me. So yoga is going to be the best thing for you. So easiest thing to do is just go on YouTube and look up some yoga stretches and start doing some yoga exercises. You can do it in 15, 20 minutes and you'll be amazed because it'll help twist your body. You can help get the colon working better. It'll stretch the muscles. And then when you're in the Atlanta area, come see me and we'll work on you as well. We have parking at our Marietta office for big trucks, for the over-the-road trucks, the tractor trailers. And a lot of drivers come see us because the show, of course, is heard all over the world. So, yes.
Now, if you take, when we were talking about the nitrous oxide before we
Nitric.
went back on,
Nitric
oxide, she has an S in here. So.
Okay. It's okay. Oh, I was yelling. No, I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm yelling at Garrett. So I'll let him take the hit.
So if you take the nitric oxide before the workout, do you need to take it at another time in the day as well?
Just once a day. You only need four tablets once a day is all you need.
And how long before the workout should you take it?
20 minutes, half hour. Yeah. I got to take it in the morning. If I take it at night, I'm all wired and I can't sleep. So stuff's amazing though, because it increases circulation to your brain, increases circulation to your happy parts, men and women, increases circulation there. A lot of guys come in. I can't tell you how many men over 40 and over 50 come in and say, Doc, that stuff is making me like a young kid again. So it's pretty good. And again, you take it one day, you may not feel it. It may take a couple of days to build up your nitric oxide supports. I'm assuming I have to do liners here. So.
WSB covers Georgia's
Okay.
race for governor.
All right, so folks, keep if you have questions, we are now the #1 live streaming wellness show in the world, thanks to you. So keep writing in your questions, and I'm going to have to do liners in just a second so you can watch me do that. It's really boring.
Trump rallying the crowd behind Republican Brian Kemp in the race for governor.
Under Republican leadership, Georgia is safer, Georgia is stronger, and
All right. See, the show is nationally syndicated all over the world, and so a lot of shows, a lot of stations don't air it live. So we have to do these liners so they can run commercials during the week so that they know we're coming. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. This week we're talking about stress management, not what you're thinking, a unique spin on stress management. Dr. Joe here. This week we'll be discussing chemical, physical, and emotional stress and what you need to do to get that under control. Hey, we're talking about chemical, physical, and emotional stress this week on the Dr. Joe Show. Done.
USB's peak homes right now 60 degrees in Atlanta, 60% chance of showers tonight, lows in the 50s.
Okay, Banky, what else you got for me?
What is the difference between milk thistle and Lipton complex?
Lipton has some other stuff aside from milk thistle in it. Lipton is a brand name from a company called Standard Process. And they have a milk thistle. Be careful when you take it, because I take it periodically just to clean up my liver. And I always take about a teaspoon, and one day I took more than that, and I got a blazing headache because it helps the liver break down toxins and release them. So all these toxins in my liver got dumped out, and I got a blazing headache. So start out slow with the milk thistle.
All right, now I have well water that is filtered with a very fine wire mesh filter.
Okay.
My TS is 16, and my pH balance is 5.5. I have no problem with taste. Are those results good?
5.5 is way too low. That's way too acidic. So I don't know why your body's too acidic. I'm not sure if it's the well water, if it's your diet, but you really got to get that up to 6.5 to 7.0 is ideal pH. And that's salivary or urine, first thing in the morning.
Now, in the case that he is talking about his water.
Oh, the water he's testing. I thought you meant your pH. Okay. That's still a little too low. That's still a little too acidic. So that concerns me. That is anything below 6.5, whether it's water or I'm not happy with. So absolutely positively, Super Green's an essential source to help neutralize some of those toxins. And you might want to consider getting a water softener.
Here we got a congratulations on being named #1.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Joe talks a lot about pulling the stomach away from the diaphragm to resolve numerous issues. Does that mean that his stomach got pushed up at some point, and if so, how does that happen?
I think, and again, there's not a lot of research on this because there's no money in it. There's money in treating it, there's not a lot of money in fixing it. So what I've found in the past 34 years is it usually happens when somebody has a big meal, or if somebody's doing a lot of sit-ups. I've had a lot of folks come in and they've got these six-pack abs and they're thin and they're beautiful, men and women, and they've got this horrible digestive issue. So something is pushing it up, and usually it happens, I find, after a big meal. And if you do that on a regular basis, the stomach kind of gets stuck up there, and we need to get it to come out of spasm, so we manually pull it away from the diaphragm. If you go to the website, drjoe.com, the first article under my blog is an article that we wrote on how we work on that. So
that is it for the moment.
okay, that's cool.
Now, for the guy asking about some stretches or things that he can do, have you ever heard of the 90-90?
90-90, no.
That was something that I did a lot because I couldn't afford to go to the chiropractor.
That's why he works here, by the way, folks. Yeah.
Yes.
He just wants free treatment. Yeah, he don't like me. He just works for free treatment.
So my mom actually had a problem with her back, and her chiropractor back in like the 90s at some point.
Way back in the 90s.
Yeah. I'm not very old, guys. Told her to do the 90-90, and it's essentially laying on your back and putting your feet on a chair or a couch or something,
right.
and getting a 90-degree angle at the bend in your knee and at the bend in your hips.
Makes sense.
And then keep it tight and lay like that on a hard surface, and it'll slowly...
yeah, that could help you. Makes sense.
I would always do it and start out, and my back would be like raised, and then after 10-20 minutes, I'm flat on the floor.
Yep, makes perfect sense. Okay, I'm good with that. Let me see. What else didn't we cover yet? We did exercise. We did that. Am I missing a page
Jill
somewhere?
Nelson's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
New crash 75 southbound at exit 239 Central Avenue. Was blocking a center lane. They've already gotten that moved out of your way. Good
Lost the
job.
page somewhere.
Right lane shut down by roadwork. Inner loop 285 southbound before exit 36 North Lake Parkway. That slows you back to Spaghetti Junction. 2 right lanes blocked. 4 southbound from Brownsbridge.
Okay.
14 Highway 20 slowing your ride there. Down on the south side.
Where am I on
Taking 10 minutes to
page
travel
of notes
75 northbound from exit 216 Highway 155 up to the 675 split. 9 minutes to 285. And southbound on 75 is a 9-minute ride from 285 to the 675 merge.
It's a mystery.
10 minutes down to Highway
Page of notes
155
disappeared.
McDonough. Jill Nelson,
It's all right.
WSB.
Oh, here we go. Nope.
And Instagram is about to go down, and we'll be right back, guys.
Don't go anywhere.
Shower 60% likely, low 54. Monday cloudy with a 40% chance of another shower, high 68. Election day Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms 80% likely, some possibly heavy, diminishing in the afternoon, high 74. Wednesday, mostly sunny to partly sunny, high 72, low 52.
60 degrees on Peachtree Street at News 95.5 and AM
Here we go.
WSB.
Uh-oh.
Depend on it.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're spending a little time with us today. We're talking about stress management. And I remember back in my old days, I have, 7 degrees. I'm board certified in chiropractic, orthopedics, pain management, double board certified in nutrition, BS in nutrition, retired dietitian, award-winning author. Just informed when we live stream our shows, we're the #1 health and wellness live streaming show in the country. So thank you for all of you who watch us on social media. And follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Because we do live stream a lot of our shows, and some people are visual learners. And so if you're a visual learner, then you can, watch them. And we save them all on our website, drjoe.com, too. We podcast them there as well. And we have audios there. And make sure you send us your email address, because we do send out newsletters with a lot of information we don't put on the shows. It's kind of like my elite group of folks. You want to be with the cool kids. Send us that, too. So we're talking today about stress management, chemical, physical, and emotional stress. And I want to cover a little bit about environmental stress, because this is a big issue. And we talk about this because in every office, in every place you go, you're being bombarded with environmental stresses. And one of the main things you're going to get hit with is chemicals. Perfumes. I do not like perfume. I hate when people have perfume and cologne on. I have to adjust them because I don't know what it is about perfume, but it doesn't wash off, which just blows my mind. And when you're wearing perfumes, you're covering up your own pheromones. Your body produces natural pheromones. Now, you can't smell them, but you've ever seen a dog sniffing around you? Or maybe you meet somebody, you like them right away, and other times you meet somebody, you don't like them right away. A lot of that has to do with pheromones. They're chemicals that you release that we all inhale, and if it stimulates a part of the brain that we like, that's going to make us like you. So don't cover up your pheromones with perfume. But the problem with perfume, aside from the pheromone issues, and I don't like it, is that it has chemicals in it called phthalates. And phthalates are endocrine disruptors. They actually act like estrogen in your body. And they're endocrine disrupting, so they're messing with your natural balance of hormones. We don't use a lot of hormones in our lives, very little. They're very, very powerful chemicals. And when you start messing with Mother Nature, you're not going to be happy. And if you're done growing up, chances are if you're exposing yourself to endocrine disrupting hormones, you're going to grow out. And you could actually start to gain weight from chemical stresses. I've done shows like that in the past on my website, drjoe.com. But try to avoid them at all costs. And we talk a lot about the stomach and digestion because we're going to talk about emotional stress. I promise you I talk about this. Your stomach's job is to take proteins and break them into something called amino acids. So whether it's a steak or it's a carrot, your stomach's job is hydrochloric acid activates pepsin and pepsinogen, which break down proteins into amino acids. Then they pass into your small intestine where they get absorbed. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating, chronic cough, chronic sinus problem, it could be the stomach is pushing up into the diaphragm and acid is coming up into your throat. If that happens, that's telling me, by definition, you're not breaking down your proteins properly. So chances are you're passing big chunks of protein into your small intestine where they can irritate the small intestine, cause an inflammatory reaction, tear little holes in your colon, and create something called leaky gut syndrome, where these big chunks of protein get absorbed into the blood system, the immune system attacks it, and now you can have allergic reactions or food sensitivities. So in many cases, when it comes to stress, we got to fix the digestive system. So we can actually take the stomach and adjust it or pull it down away from the diaphragm. And I tell you what, we do that for our patients. They want to name their kids after you. Because I suffered for this for years. The bloating, the bad breath, the burping all the time. Didn't know what it was. And then many years ago, I realized I was in my second adjusting room. I've been in the same office for 34 years now. And it hit me. I went, oh my gosh, I bet you the stomach can come out of place. And I grabbed one of my interns. A lot of doctors interned with us, chiropractors, medical doctors, students. And I said, pull my stomach away from the diaphragm. And he did. And for the first time in my life, I had no pain. I always had some or more, but I never had none. Now, your stomach's job is to take proteins and break them into amino acids. What does this have to do with stress management? The amino acid tryptophan becomes serotonin in your brain. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that makes you happy. Serotonin becomes melatonin, which helps you sleep. So if you have digestive issues, the chances are pretty strong you're having sleep issues because you're not producing the neurotransmitters, the chemicals, to make your body go into that restful state. So my stomach pushed up against my diaphragm is now affecting how my brain works. And here's the thing with serotonin. 95% of your serotonin is not used in your brain. It's used in your digestive system. So you can have digestive problems because you don't have enough serotonin because you're not breaking down your proteins into amino acids, and then your brain is going to get shortchanged when it comes to the serotonin. Wow, that's heavy-duty stuff, man. And every patient I've ever seen, ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, there's always an undiagnosed digestive issue. And when we work on that, patients are pretty happy. Tyrosine becomes dopamine. Dopamine is your pleasure neurotransmitter. So if you're not getting a lot of pleasure out of life, it may be that your dopamine is an issue. You don't have enough of dopamine receptor sites. You can have a genetic predisposition to not absorbing enough dopamine. And then if you're not making enough dopamine and you're not absorbing enough dopamine, you can go into some real serious problems. So a lot of your anxiety and depression could be physical, which is causing a chemical problem, which is causing a neurotransmitter problem. That's wild stuff. And then glutamine becomes GABA. GABA helps suppress pain. And as a chiropractor, my team of doctors are always looking on ways to suppress your pain. So getting your stomach fixed is going to be so important when it comes to stress management. Because when we fix that, and then from a chiropractic standpoint, we fix pinched nerves, we work on muscle spasms, open up the nerve supply, and then we get you on some good food. At least, folks, the minimum amount of nutrients you should be taking, Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. They're 2 powders. They taste great. I have them here at the studio with me, as a matter of fact. And I just mix it with cold water, coconut milk, almond milk. If you're not willing to do anything else, please take the Super Greens, the Essential Source. They're available on the website, drjoe.com, also available on Amazon. Somebody always asks me, what do I take? I take Super Greens Essential Source, nitric oxide every day for circulation, opens up my blood vessels to every part of my body. B-complex, That's on, all these are on the website, drjoe.com. And in the winter, you have to get your vitamin D levels. So you want to get about 5,000 international units of vitamin D a day. That's 5 drops of Dr. Joe's vitamin D. All those supplements, podcasts, all on the website, my blog, all on the website, drjoe.com. Folks, if you want to make an appointment to come see us, from a chiropractic standpoint, nutrition standpoint, digestive issues, go to my website, drjoe.com, or give us a call at 844-44-DR-JOE. And that number rings through to my offices when I'm not on the air. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. If you have a healthcare question, lines are open right now, 844-44-DR-JOE. You can call that number now and get through to the studio. Hey, don't go anywhere. Tell your friends about the show. I'll be right back.
Does that sound like you? Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches? Chances are you'd benefit from chiropractic care. Most people benefit from chiropractic care because chiropractic care tries to get to the cause of your problems and not just cover up the symptoms. If you're ready to get well, I want you to go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-DR-JOE and make an appointment for you, your friends, and your family today. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
What questions, maybe?
Hi, Doc. I'm graduating with my BS in math in a couple of months and thinking about going into healthcare. What branches of healthcare do you recommend if I really want to encourage people to be healthier?
Well, chiropractic, of course, would be my number one step. It depends what you like. I mean, I have friends that are neurosurgeons. I have friends that are vascular surgeons. Most of the doctors that I talk to now, no matter what the field, are very frustrated. And in fact, I've done shows on this already with a doctor shortage that we're in right now, because you're going to graduate with about $220,000 in debt if you become a doctor, and that becomes a big issue. Now, nurse practitioner is pretty hot right now. Physician's assistant is pretty hot right now because we have a doctor shortage, and with so many less doctors, nurse practitioners and physician's assistants are coming on strong. Of course, I would recommend chiropractic if you want to go into the more natural health care. That's the direction. Now, you couldn't go natural health care with nurse practitioner and physician's assistant as well. It depends what you want to do. The reason I became a chiropractor, not a neurosurgeon, which was my original plans, was because it excited me. I got excited about biochemistry and neurophysiology and pinched nerves and pain management, and that's the thing that got me excited. So whatever excites you, you can go in that direction. And if you ever want to come to the office, I'm more than happy to show you around, see what we do.
Now, what do you think about hyperthyroidism? Is it treatable outside of the usual modern medicine?
It's Big Thyroid Day, isn't it? It's like the 5th thyroid question today. We talked about it earlier, and the show is on the website, drjoe.com. It'll be there tomorrow, so you can listen if you want to. The answer is continue with your medication. And any condition, never, ever, ever come off your medication. Always follow your doctor's advice when it comes to medication, and we would co-manage your case to try to get you off the medication, get you to the point where you don't need the medication. That's going to be our goal, is to get you to the point you don't need the medication. So Super Green's an essential source, really important. Make sure you're getting enough iodine in your body to make sure it's working. Pinch nerves in the neck, nerve supply to the thyroid, you got to make sure that's working. You want to stay away from chlorine, fluorine, and bromine, which are haloids. And iodine is also a haloid. So if you're putting a bunch of haloids in the body, they can block up the iodine receptor sites, and you won't be able to absorb your iodine. Then if we still have issues, I'd get you on Dr. Joe's adrenal support, because the adrenals, thyroid, and pituitary feed off each other. It's called the axis. And you want to make sure that's working as well. So it's a complex question, the thyroid, but we deal with it all day, every day. But don't come off your medication without your doctor's permission until we get you stabilized if we can.
So I just bought some Chinese spirulina and then heard that spirulina from there could be poor quality. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know, because I don't know what's in it. I mean, so what's the worst that could happen? I mean, did I have arsenic in it? I have no idea. And that's the problem with supplements coming from foreign countries, is they may not be past muster, so to speak. So yeah, the spirulina and chlorella we use is always tested to make sure that's clear. We use that in the Super Greens. And so just take Dr. Joe's Super Greens, your problem solved. See how easy that was? Poor Garrett. Garrett's running around back and forth, looking at this computer, looking at that computer. Oh, something funny back there.
The ghost of Patrick Swayze is talking to me. Can you help, Doc?
Wow. Have you had the time of your life with him? I don't know.
Okay, does Chiro help stress and psoriasis?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I couldn't imagine not having chiropractic in my life. The physical, the chemical, the emotional stress is just incredible with chiropractic. Psoriasis is usually a liver issue. And so in cases like that, I'd get off wheat and dairy, and I'd probably get you on some milk thistle. We have that at our office. So if you call the office, we can get you on some milk thistle. Be careful. Start out slow with the milk thistle. I don't want to get you detoxifying too quickly. But you got to cut out the wheat and the dairy absolutely positively when it comes to psoriasis patients. And then coconut oil on the skin.
Now, we may not have enough time for this one, but can you talk a little bit about HPV?
Sure. Yeah, we're not gonna have time. I'll get you on the next break if I get to it. So we have a lot of callers here too. So because we are the ¡1 live streaming healthcare show in the country, in the world. I'll say in the world. Who's gonna argue with us, right? That's right. How exciting is that?
If brains were looks, he would be the Brad Pitt of radio. That's why you listen to Dr. Joe Esposito on WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're with us today. We're talking about stress management. A lot of fun, actually. And a lot of people, in fact, somebody just called in. They didn't want to go on the air. And they asked, well, can chiropractic care help stress management and help with stress management? Absolutely. That's what we're talking about. If you have pain, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, chiropractic is an amazing way to go to help with that. Now, is it going to help everyone? No, it's not. But the success rate we have is just off the chart. And that's why so many patients, medical doctors, chiropractors, nurses come to us and get treated. And got to remember, I'm a patient in my office too. All my doctors are handpicked by me, trained by me, and are my personal doctors. And years ago when I was a kid, my mother always said, go to your doctor's doctor, because you know they're good. So that's why my doctors are great, because they're the ones that take care of me. So a lot more to talk about stress, but we got a lot of callers calling at 844-44 Dr. Joe. You can be one of them. Hey, Paula, how can we make your day better? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. Oh, yeah. We see sciatic patients all day, every day. In fact, I suffered for years. I remember playing football and hockey in high school and even in college, and just holding my leg in pain every time I had an event. Turns out I had a broken back. Had a fracture in my low back at 18 years old. I finally had an x-ray taken, and I had a fracture. And so chiropractically, we realigned the fracture, so it took the pressure off the nerve. So it sounds like a classic chiropractic case. Sciatic pain is like one of our, you know, that's a real easy one in most cases for us to fix. So if you want to come see us, oh yeah. And having suffered with it for years, believe me, I know what you're going through. And you're not far from our Marietta office, so you know, call the office and we'll get you set up. All right, Paula, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. I like Paula. My grandmother's name was Pauline, so I like the name Paula. Debbie, how can we make your day better? I have a cousin named Debbie. I got all of my family members calling in here. Hey, Debbie. Hi there. Hi. Aw, first timer. We'll make fun of you now. Yes. Sure. Sure. Costochondral, yeah, okay, costochondritis, yeah, okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, if she's having chest pains, you've been to the cardiologist, you've been to the gastroenterologist, so we know what it's not. And that makes my job a whole lot easier because we know it's not a tumor, we know it's not a whatever. A couple of things when it has chest pain and trouble breathing. The fourth cervical nerve, the fourth nerve down in your neck, is the phrenic nerve. And the phrenic nerve controls your diaphragm. So a lot of times folks have breathing problems, it's a pinched nerve in the neck, and the diaphragm isn't getting the proper messages from the brain. The diaphragm itself can spasm. Many times we got to go in there and just massage this diaphragm. We hit some trigger points and get it to release. The stomach could be pushing up against the diaphragm. So, and if it is costochondritis, the ribs where they attach into the sternum can come out of place. And we may have to adjust those ribs back into place to take the pressure. So there's several things I would look at for her, but we know what it's not, so it's probably what I'm talking about. Yeah. Right. It's a, yeah. Sounds. Yeah, it's a diaphragmatic spasm is what it sounds like. And so we check the nerve supply to the diaphragm. We check the diaphragm itself, see if the stomach is up against the diaphragm, check the ribs, and one of those should solve the problem then. Great. So call the office, 844-44-Dr.Joe. We're not on the air, like during business hours, and we'll get her set up as soon as possible. How about that, Deb? Awesome. All right, see you then. Thanks so much. My pleasure. Let me see here. If you're on hold, Ricky, keep holding. If you're on hold, folks, I'm going to get back to you. I got a break coming up. If you have a healthcare question, you want to call it in, 844-44-Dr.Joe, 844-44-DRJOE. And like we just said to Debbie, that number rings through our offices when we're not on the air. So if you ever want to make an appointment to come see us, which by the way you should. And the reason I say that is the number one complaint I get in my offices is, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I wait so long? Why did I suffer needlessly? So don't be one of those patients. Come see us. We accept most insurances. If there's out-of-network benefits, we work with that. We work with usually what your benefits are. We accept Medicare. And if you've ever been in a car accident, ever, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. So the sooner you get to see us after a car accident, come see us. And also, I don't want you getting into a scam clinic. I mean, I have patients come in. Well, my attorney made me go to this one clinic. They really didn't do a whole lot. Now the case is closed, and I'm still having the exact same problems. So we would love to work on you for car accidents, sports injuries, workers' comp, neck pain, back pain, digestive issues. Go to my website, drjoe.com. You can make an appointment right online for you young kids. For us old people, 844-44-Dr.Joe. That number rings through my offices when I'm not on the air, so you can go ahead and call in with that. A couple more things I want to talk about. I know we've still got another couple of segments coming up on stress management. Here's a little trick. You know, I shouldn't tell you this because when you come in as a patient, you're going to know I'm using it. The right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. The left side of the brain controls the right side of your body. So the right side of your brain determines if you like something. The left side of the brain is logic. Left logic, right is more emotional. And so when you talk to somebody, look in their left eye because it can stimulate the right side of the brain. Now, I don't know if there's a lot of research on this, but as long as you understand how the body works, it's fun to use that. You can use mirroring. I can tell you about mirroring if you want to. But when you talk to somebody, you have to look somewhere. If you look in their left eye, you're going to stimulate the right side of their brain. The right side of the brain is the part of the brain that determines if somebody likes you. And one thing we have with stress management is we all want to be liked. We all want to be accepted by society. And so this is a little trick that you can do because you have to look somewhere anyway to help stimulate that part of the brain. It's a really neat little trick. Another thing, I promised you this at the beginning of the show, how to physically reboot the brain. And like I said, the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. Left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. So when you walk, I want you to walk using your right arm and your left leg, swing your right arm and left leg, and swing your left arm and right leg. Ahmad's doing it right now. It's called a cross crawl. And I know Ahmad, when he gets tired, he knows this trick. And you march in place, or you can do it while you're walking. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. And if you're not sure you're doing it right, bring your right elbow to your left knee, and then your left elbow to your right knee. And what that does, it integrates your brain, as opposed to segregating your brain. When we come back and talk more about segregation, integration of the brain. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. If you have a healthcare question, give us a call, 844-44-Dr.Joe. My website, drjoe.com. You can order Super Greens, Essential Source, Nitric Oxide, B Complex, Digestive Enzymes. Winter Bundle is a wellness booster and seasonal tonic to help the immune system work, and that's on special. The website's drjoe.com. Hey, folks, don't go anywhere. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're going to be right back. Tried to sneak that in there real quick. Más preguntas?
I'm getting hungry over here.
Aha.
So, HPV.
Yes, HPV, human papillomavirus. It is a virus. I think there's over 100 different strains of it, if I remember correctly. It's a virus like everything else. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. I will tell you that I would never take a vaccine like that. And if your immune system is strong, we're going to talk about this next week, keeping the immune system strong, it's a virus, and hopefully your body will fight it off. Just like the cold is a virus and the flu is a virus, it's a virus. And so by keeping the body healthy, you're in good shape. If you're sexually active, chances are you've come in contact with it, men and women. And men are carriers, unfortunately for the women. Can it cause an issue? Absolutely. once again, I'm not telling you to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. I'm not your medical doctor. I don't want to give you that advice. But I feel that with any virus, keeping the immune system strong is going to be the key here. And so, sound like my voice? It is my voice. Okay. Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster, I take that every day during the winter to keep my immune system strong. If I do feel a cold or flu coming on, I take Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic, and we have a bundle going on right now, a special on that. That's on the website. Vitamin D is going to be vital to keeping the immune system strong. Super Green's an essential source. You got to avoid sugar. I mean, that's for everybody.
True story?
True story.
My first and only seizure ever was about 5 minutes after I had my HPV vaccine.
Interesting. So that's Garrett, full true confession right there, right after his HPV vaccine. So would you do it again?
No.
There you go.
No. It was about 10 seconds long. I freaked out, fell out of my chair because I just didn't know what to do with myself.
Wow.
And they would let me leave. It was about 2 hours after they finally let me leave. And,
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? I hear those stories all the time with HPV vaccine. So, again, I'm not a medical doctor. You decide what you want to do. I can just give you my advice. Oh, Jennifer's loud today. All right, 2 more segments. What do we got?
Now, I told a young lady who has GERD about you, and she got me wondering, how many times would someone with that problem have to get adjusted?
It depends. I've had some people 1 or 2 treatments. They think you walk on water. Other people like myself, I got to get myself checked about once every month or 2. Now, the benefit to me is I have chiropractors surrounding me, and I'm their trainer. But depends how bad the muscle is, how bad what's called the lower esophageal sphincter is stretched. But when I changed my diet and got chiropractic care, I don't have the problem hardly ever. I get it checked because sometimes it comes up positive, the test, and I just got to get it pulled down before I even have symptoms.
Can chiropractic take care of anterior pelvic tilt?
Yes, that's what chiropractors do. We take bones that are out of place and put them back in place. It's louder today, that speaker. I don't know why it's so loud today.
All right, Miss Michelle says that she stopped eating meat, dairy, and the dreadful sugar, yet still wants a snack at night.
Sure.
What would be good for her to have?
Well, having a snack at night, let's go back a little bit. You want to do intermittent fasting every day. You want to go 12 hours without food. So you definitely want to make sure if you stop eating at 5 o'clock at night, you can have breakfast 5 o'clock in the morning. That's ideal. Now, if you have to have a little snack, a little dulce, a little sweet, have a piece of fruit. Have Super Green's an essential source, by the way, because the essential source is sweetened with stevia. Have a cup of tea with stevia in it. So stevia, Lohan, there's a brand name, I don't want to say it, monk fruit, these are all sweeteners that you can use in maybe a cup of tea or something along those lines. But a piece of fruit should solve the problem.
How does spicy food work with the diaphragm causing hiccups?
The spicy food is a vasodilator. It has components in there that can irritate the lining of the stomach, and the capsaicin it's called, and that can irritate the lining of the stomach, which can then cause the diaphragm to go into spasm. If you have that condition, chances are if we pull the stomach away from the diaphragm, you won't have that condition anymore. So that's a symptom. It's a warning sign. It's telling you something's wrong. Don't ignore it. You'll regret that decision. Yes, my crew. We are the #1 live streaming health show in the country right now. Dun, dun, dun.
And someone thinks you're cute.
Ooh. Hi. I've been called a lot of things. Very seldom cute, though. So.
Give my good old Joey, how you doing?
How you doing? Hey.
That's the Yankee I know.
I could do the whole show. I could do a whole show like I used to talk. It'd be fun, wouldn't it? How you doing? Listen, your diaphragm's all messed up. You gotta take the diaphragm, pull it back down here. It's up here, it's gotta go down here. It ain't right. What's the matter for you?
Take care of it.
I first came to Georgia. People were like, wow, you got some accent. Huh? What? I got no accent. I'm back in New York within an hour. Bam. Comes right back to me.
Next time you go to New York, we ought to do a remote show.
We could go to, I'm going to do, you know what I wanted to do? I'm going to be working the Macy's Day Parade this year. And I wanted to do a live remote from the Macy's Day Parade, but I couldn't get the station to say yes. So they said it's too much of a hassle with trying to run lines and everything. And so, yeah.
We can run a live stream.
We could do a live stream from New York. How you doing? Yeah, we're at Macy's Day Parade. Don't eat turkey. It ain't no good for you. 34 years since I've had turkey.
What do you do for Thanksgiving?
Everything everybody else does. You know, I still have a few family members left. I get together with my family, and I just have all the vegetables. I have the green beans and the salad and the broccoli, and can make a gluten-free stuffing. Although I probably wouldn't eat that. Just, I mean, it's too much sugar in there. But yeah, all the stuff except the animals.
It doesn't make sense to me, I guess, as a born and bred deep Southerner. Ham hock goes in all the vegetables.
Yes.
And if it's not a ham hock, it's actual ham or it's bacon. And everything is mounds of margarine or butter.
Yep, need some margarine to clog up those arteries. Oh, he's joking. That should be
Crisco?
Crisco, fat in a can, which makes you what? Fat in a can. So
get started at cctakesteps.org. Steve Winslow, WSB. I'm WSB meteorologist.
Almost coming back.
2
2 more segments.
Showers 60% likely, low 54. Monday cloudy with a 40% chance of another shower, high 68. Election Day Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms 80% likely, some possibly heavy.
By the way, folks, if you're watching us on social media, make sure you send us your email address at drjoe.com, and we'll put you on our mailing list. We'll never give it away, I promise. But we send out a lot of good stuff, and Garrett likes to spend my money by giving away specials on the newsletter.
There will be deals.
Chances are you'd benefit from chiropractic care. Most people benefit from chiropractic care because chiropractic care tries to get to the cause of your problems and not just cover up the symptoms. If you're ready to get well, I want you to go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-DR-JOE and make an appointment for you, your friends, and your family today. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're with us today. Talking about stress management. A lot of fun, actually. Covering a lot of good topics here. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is the last half hour of the show, so that means you missed some amazing stuff. But the good news is it's going to be on my website tomorrow, drjoe.com, the audio and the video. So if you want to see my pretty face, you get to go see the videos as well. And that's why I want you to follow me on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, because we do live stream a lot of these shows and you get to see them. And I was just informed, actually, that we're the #1 live stream health show in the country right now. So how about that? That's my tech team telling us that there. That's what? Oh, I thought Ahmad was going to say something there. He looked like he was going to say something important. All right, a lot more to talk about on health, on stress management. Let's take a caller here. Ricky, how can we make your day better? Hey there. Uh-huh. Sure. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. If you're producing gas, I mean, we all produce a little gas every day. It's normal to have some gas, but it shouldn't be a lot, and it shouldn't be really stinky. And if it is, there's something wrong. So many cases, and I see this all day, every day, your stomach is not digesting proteins properly, and the food is passing into your small intestine partially digested. So for someone like that, I would check the stomach, like you, and see if we need to adjust or pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. From a chiropractic standpoint, I would check the nerves throughout the whole spine to see if there's any pinched nerves, because that controls everything. From a food standpoint, I'd stay away from the gassy foods, the beans, the meats, those are the things, beer. I would take Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source because they're the minimum amount of nutrients you need every single day. And then Dr. Joe's Digestive Enzymes on top of that as well. But gas is a warning sign. It's telling you something's wrong. And if you ignore it, something's going to come up. Now, if you have a big bowl of beans, you get a little gas, all right, I understand that. But if it's a regular thing in your life, yeah, it's funny, haha, but it's telling you something's wrong. And I want you to take note of that. So why don't you come see us, Ricky? We'll see if we can get the stomach pulled away from the diaphragm and see if we can help that. Yeah, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Ricky. And if you do want to make an appointment, folks, the number you can call in now, 844-44-Dr. Joe, also rings through to my offices when I'm not on the air. Or you can do it online if you're young and cool. You can do it right online at 844-44-Dr. Joe. So we were talking about the cross crawl before we went to break, and Ahmad loves that one. I think I've saved his life with that one there, right? Isn't it amazing? And when do you use it? And it works, right? It takes what, 10 seconds, 20 seconds? No, you can do it all day if you wanted to. You look silly, but But what we're talking about, if you're just tuning in, your right-sided brain controls left side of your body, left-sided brain controls right side of the body. And so our brains should be integrated. We should be using both parts of the brain as much as possible. Most of us segregate our brains. So what do? We use one side of the body more so than the other. I'm right-handed, so I start my car, brush my teeth, I zip my fly, I work my mouse using my right hand. So I'm kind of using the left side of my brain more than I am the right side of my brain. So what you want to do is shake it up a little bit and try to use the other side of your brain every chance you can. So some things you can do? See if you can work your mouse with your opposite hand. See if you can brush your teeth with your opposite hand. But a simple thing you can do, like Ahmad was just talking about, is cross crawl. What you do is you take your right elbow and you touch it to your left knee, and then your left elbow to your right knee. And you can do this standing in place. I know Ahmad, when he's in the booth over there, behind the takeout window, as Mark Aram called it. There's a big glass window between me and Ahmad. And he'll sit, and I'll see him every now and then. He'll just start cross-crawling, and it reboots the brain and can give you a burst of energy. And a little thing I did one time, it was kind of fun. I was giving a lecture at a high school, and we had the basketball team there. And I said, I'm going to show you a little trick to help you play better basketball. Oh, tell me. So I had the number one guy shoot a foul shot, no problem. And then I had him march in place, but I had him march right arm, right leg, left arm, left leg. So I had him mess up his brain. I segregated his brain. Couldn't even come close. Rebooted his brain, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, and boom, hit the foul shot again. And so a lot of athletes, and I teach this, a lot of athletes is do this before an event. Now, if you're not an athlete, even if you are, let's assume you have an important meeting. Let's assume you got a hot date. Let's assume you're just tired and you got to go to work. You don't want to. You're a parent, stressed out with the kids. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Do it for 10, 20, 30 seconds. You'll be amazed what happens. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's a neat little trick you can do. It's called a cross crawl. And that's why it's so important for babies to crawl. Because when they're crawling, they're building up the neurological pathway in their brain. And I don't like it when parents try to force the babies to walk, because you're not allowing that natural neurological buildup to occur. And also when a baby's on their belly, they lift their head up. And when they lift their head up, they can develop a cervical curve. You should have about a 60-degree curve in your neck. And if you don't have a normal curve in your neck, the weight of your head is pounding down on your spine. Your head weighs about 10 pounds. And it sits on top of 7 little bones. Your neck is really tiny. It's only about the size of your index finger, really, if you think about it. So if you have a normal curve, you have flexibility and mobility and strength. And if you lose the curve, you've lost the mechanical advantage. So what's happening now is the weight of your 10-pound bowling ball-sized head is pounding down on your spine. And eventually, the spine wears out. The discs will wear out. And if you don't have a proper curve, the discs wear out. We call that osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is always physical, always somehow related to something physical. Bones out of place, rubbing up against each other. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune condition. So if you have bones out of place, pinching nerves, that can hurt. 90% of the time it doesn't hurt, because 90% of the nerves don't feel pain. And then if you don't have curves in your neck or your back, the weight of the body is pounding down on the spine and the discs are wearing out. And all day, every day, 34 years, patients have come in our offices, we take x-rays on them, and we find arthritis. And all day, every day, those patients say, but doc, it just started hurting last week, or it just started hurting after my car accident. It's been happening for years. For arthritis to even show up on an x-ray, has to be there at least 10 years. So if we even see the beginnings of arthritis, we know your condition is 10 years or older. So it's really important that you take care of your spine, and even a little bit of pain is a warning sign. It's telling you something's wrong. So don't ignore your pain, folks. Yeah, you can take some acetaminophen. Acetaminophen helps block pain. Ibuprofen helps with inflammation. You can take those medications, that's fine. But you're not getting to the cause of the problem, you're treating the symptoms. And I have no problem treating your symptoms. But I want to get to the cause of your problem and not just treat the symptoms. So from a stress standpoint, that's what we're talking about today, stress management, we want to make sure the physical stress is taken care of. And my team of doctors, we're really good at that. And then the chemical stress, you can take care of. Eating the right foods, at least Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Minimum amount of nutrients you should take every day. And they're 2 powders. They taste great. They're on my website, drjoe.com. I have them right here in my studio with me. I take them every single day. And then I told you earlier, I take B-complex, I take nitric oxide, I take digestive enzymes if I'm eating cooked food. So all the supplements that we talk about are on my website, drjoe.com. We also have my blog there. My podcasts are there, audio and video. So it's a great source of information. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about emotional stress. How are you going to help deal with emotional stress? What happens to the body when you're under stress? And then what you can do to actually start to fix it. Because my goal is always get you well and keep you well. Supplements, everything's on the website, drjoe.com. If you want to make an appointment to come see us, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. We would love to be your doctors. Go to my website, drjoe.com, or if you have a question, call in now, 844-44-Dr.Joe, and that number rings through my offices when I'm not on the air. Hey, thanks for telling your friends about the show. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
If you're like most people, you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches. Maybe it's time to stop suffering and it's time to take action. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, why don't you come see me and my team of doctors, and let's see if you have a problem that we can help. Go to my website, drjoe.com, or call 844-44-Dr.Joe to make an appointment today, because so many of you are out there suffering needlessly, and we want to put a stop to that. Come see us at our offices in Marietta, Stockbridge, and Duluth. Make an appointment today so we can help get you well and keep you well. Well, it turns out...
Okay, last segment, last break, folks. If we don't get to your question now, you can send it to me through the website, drjoe.com, or just better yet, make an appointment to come see us.
So do you recommend taking Wellness Booster all year? Also, how much a day is best?
No, I don't recommend you take it all year, just in the winter months. And I take about a dropper full or two every day. That's it. You don't need a whole lot.
My 11-year-old daughter has scoliosis. Is this something that can be reversed with chiropractic care?
Chances are yes. No guarantees. There's never guarantees or promises, but the younger they are, the easier it is to fix. And the only promise I can make you ever is if you have bones out of place and you don't put them back in place, they will wear out. They will get worse. So with scoliosis, absolutely positively, if I was Grand Poobah of the universe, I would make it the law that everyone has to bring their children to the chiropractors to get their spines checked. Because if the spine is straight, they grow straight. If it's crooked, they grow crooked. So the answer is a resounding probably. So come bring her in. We'll check her out for you.
Now, what do you think about the Beyond Burgers, or the Impossible Burgers, or all these like pea protein?
I love the pea protein burgers. I'm not a big fan of textured soy protein, but I love those. And they have sausages too. Of the sausages, the spicy Italian is the only one I really like. The mild and the bratwurst is just so-so. But I really like the spicy Italian ones, yeah. But I like the pea protein way better than the soy protein. And they taste good too. A little scary, actually. They taste a little too good. So I think, is this real? So.
Hey, Dr. Joe from Australia.
Hello, Australia. Yay.
And you actually got a hello here from Ella Sheen.
Ella Sheen? Is that a person?
That's a fellow New Yorker.
Oh, hey, how you doing? You doing all right? I'm doing all right, yeah.
And we're out of questions.
All right, that's okay. That's good stuff, actually.
What's good for thyroid disease?
You just told me we were out of questions.
More thyroid.
Yeah, it's every day, right? We have erectile dysfunction one day, and then we have nitric oxide support.
CBD.
CBD oil is another one. And we talked a lot about thyroid. If you go to my website, drjoe.com, I don't want to bore everybody who's heard it before. This show will be on the website tomorrow, correct?
Show will be up on the site in about 13 more minutes.
13 more minutes. So there you go. So listen to the whole show. We cover all on thyroid there. We're really in depth on that one. So it's funny how we go in cycles, isn't it? I teach all my interns that too. When chiropractors, medical doctors, when they intern with me, I say, you go through a week of everybody's left shoulder. Then 2 weeks later, you have everybody's right shoulder. And then you'll have foot pain. And then you'll have thyroid problems. Then you'll have acid reflux. And it always goes through cycles. And we can never figure out where that cycle is coming from. So Garrett's laughing over there.
This is a big old smile.
Can't say it on the air?
I can. There's a lot of people on our website right now.
Okay.
A good number.
A good number. Excellent. Good. That makes us happy. And by the way, thanks for telling your friends. And share this, by the way. Share it with your friends right now. Share it with Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're doing. Share it on your listing, because this is healthcare that really, really works. This is what we want to teach people. And if you're watching, I'm assuming we're like-minded. And so why wouldn't you want to share this information with other people? And here's the thing. Your friends aren't going to listen to you, but they will listen to me. Famous man once said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And he also said, no man's a prophet in his own hometown. And boy, is that ever true. So when your friends are not going to listen to you and think you're crazy, they'll listen to me and say, well, he's a doctor. He must know what he's talking about. So you get to get your message out. You win the battle and just share the message with everyone.
That is a true story, a real battle that I deal with.
All day, every day. Well, what do you know, Gary? You're just a dork. I'm getting, I don't know what that means.
Also.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, everybody has the same problem. You're a dork. You know what you're talking about. Here, you know what? Just go to Dr. Joe's website, listen to the shows. And then they'll come back and they'll start telling you stuff.
All right, we got a couple of questions coming in real quick.
Real quick.
What about costochondritis?
It's usually ribs out of place, and chiropractically we put the ribs back in place, get you on an anti-inflammatory diet, and that should help.
I experienced a severe allergic reaction from contrast in a MRI.
Yeah.
And almost died and experienced mortality colon issues. Mortality colon issues.
Okay, more.
And was in an all liquid diet for 8 months. Things are slowly improving. It's been almost 2 years.
The President of the United States of Health. Now on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad you're there because we're talking about stress management today and dealing with stress management from the chemical aspects, which is a food. We talk a lot about that. The physical aspects, of course, as a chiropractor, we talk about from a chiropractic standpoint. And my team of doctors are really good at fixing physical issues because guess what? I'm their patient. And all my doctors work for me, are handpicked by me, trained by me, and are my personal doctors. So you're in great hands. Some people come in, I only want to see Dr. Joe. You know what? Okay, but I think you'd probably see my other doctors. You'll be happy because they know what I know and they know what they know. And that's what's kind of cool. So all my doctors are great. And the nice part in our offices is if you like one doctor, you can stay with them. If you want to try different doctors, you can try different doctors. And some patients say, well, I really like the way, Dr. Gale adjusts my neck, but Dr. Irwin does a great job on my feet, and, and Dr. Amy does great here, and Dr. Kat's amazing on my stomach. And so you can have the opportunity to work with all of us. So you have 6 minds working on every case, not just one of us, which is great. And if you do want to make an appointment, drjoe.com is the website, or you can just call 844-44-Dr. Joe to make an appointment. So as we wrap up here, if you're just tuning in, you're missing an amazing show. It's going to be on the website, actually in about 13 minutes, I was just informed. So you can go to website, drjoe.com, and listen to the whole show. So I want to talk a little bit, I want to play psychiatrist for a minute here, and how you address certain issues. Because with age comes wisdom, and I was just talking to one of my secretaries the other day, Tara, and we were talking about the brain, and I said, well, women's brains are different than men. Duh, right? But in between the two hemispheres, you have something called the corpus callosum. And the corpus callosum is communicating between the right and left side of your brain, the hemispheres it's called. And as a man gets older, the corpus callosum actually gets smaller. So a man has more trouble processing information as he gets older. As a woman gets older, the corpus callosum gets bigger. So a woman, as she gets older, is able to process more information. And so we talk about women's intuition. Well, essentially that's true. Because a woman can process more information because of the size of the corpus callosum between the two hemispheres. So here's a good example of how physical affects emotional, affects mental, which can affect chemical. There is nothing that is independent when it comes to healthcare. The nervous system, digestive system, and the diet all work together. And here we have nature and biology actually changing the shape of the brain, which is really cool stuff. So gentlemen, when a woman if you deal with somebody who's getting a little older, I'm not going to say on in the years, getting a little older, she may have a better way to process things. And many times if I have a problem, I'll come to my staff, my female staff. I have about 50-50 men and women. And I'll say, listen, I have an issue. I need your opinion on this. And they'll say, well, they can process more information differently, and it's very helpful to me. So when it comes to issues, as I promised I'd play psychologist, we have to get the digestive system working to break proteins into amino acids to produce neurotransmitters. We get patients all the time from healthcare professionals that listen to the show and say, Dr. Joe, I never thought about that. And if you're a healthcare professional, ask your patients this. Do you have acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating? And if they do, send them to us so we can actually work on their digestive system. And that helps the whole neurotransmitter production work better, and it's really neat. And then the other healthcare professional, we co-manage the cases. With healthcare professionals, they seem to get better results because now we're actually fixing some of the physical problems, which allows the body to work more efficiently. When you have a problem, think about the good part. What good is going to come from this? Had an issue the other day, and instead of getting upset, I thought, how can I turn this into a positive? What good's going to come of this? I had a patient of ours come in, and she's raising 3 children, and she's tired all the time, and she's exhausted, and she just said, I don't know what to do. I'm going to lose my mind. And I said, think how lucky you are that you have a baby that can fuss at you, that your baby's capable of fussing at you. That's a pretty cool thing. And as a parent, you want to think, okay, 10 fingers, 10 toes, and you want nothing more than the best for your child. And when I put in that way of looking at it, she kind of looked at me and she smiled. And she said, that's very easy. An easy way to think about it. The next time she came in, she goes, Doc, I've been thinking about what you said, and it really made an impact on me, so thank you. So, I think the founder of chiropractic, Dr. B.J. Palmer, quote similar to this, you never know how far-reaching a thought, deed, or action is going to be. So you never know what you're going to do today is going to have an impact on other people. Don't be so attached to the outcome of the situation. A lot of young doctors come to me, chiropractors, medical doctors, and they say, Dr. Joe, you have these practices, and so many patients from around the world come to see you, and it's amazing, and I don't have that. And I said, I understand that. It takes time. And I tell the stories, of course, when I first started doing lectures, many times I'd go to a lecture and nobody'd show up. I said, the best thing you can do when that happens, book your next lecture. I remember when I was young, I was 23 years old when I was a doctor. I was a whiz kid. I went through school real easily. And I was talking to an older doctor, and I said, Doc, I don't think my patients respect me. And he said, why? I said, I think they think I'm too young because sometimes they call me Joe and not Dr. Joe. And he said, where do they call you Joe? I said, when we're in the office getting adjusted. And he shook his head and turned around and walked away. And I'll never forget that lesson because he told me, if they're in the office, you're treating them, of course they respect you. Why else would they be there? And I thought that was a really profound moment in my life that I was hung up on, you got to call me Dr. Joe. And now I never introduce myself except as Joe. I introduce myself always as Joe. So you might have to let go a little bit of your ego when it comes to you getting well. And of course, the attitude of gratitude is always great. If you're having a bad day, simple little thing you can do, sit down, you can do this now if you want to, write down 10 things that are just amazing in your life. All of us have at least 10 things. Hey, you're above ground. There's number 1. And so next time you're having a really rotten day or somebody really is aggravating you, go through your 10 list and smile a little bit. Now, when you smile, your body releases endorphins. Now, endorphins are painkillers that are 16 times more powerful than morphine. And so that's why when I tell people you got to get that endorphin release going, and that's why things like sugar can release pleasure chemicals like dopamine. But anything that just smiling alone is going to help increase your endorphin levels. Doing a cross crawl, which we talked about earlier. If you missed that, it's going to be on the website, drjoe.com. Can help increase your endorphin levels, and endorphins can help cover up pain and make you feel good. So in order to obtain and maintain good health, you have to have a normally functioning nervous system, a normally functioning digestive system, and good nutrition. It's not hard, it's easy when you know how to do it. First time you drove a car, it was tough, now it's easy. Folks, I got to run. If you'd like to make an appointment, come see us. We have chiropractic offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. We would love to have you come see us. The Super Greens, the essential source, all the supplements, they're on the website, drjoe.com. So you can go there and order the supplements, also available on Amazon if you want that too. If you have a question we didn't get to, send it to me through the website, drjoe.com. I'll try to answer it for you. But drjoe.com, great way to get in touch with us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling your friends. We'll catch you next time.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. This is...
You didn't give me a code.
We're trying to keep those shows evergreen.
Got it. I'm okay with that.
But you guys all get a coupon code.
Oh, you guys get a code. Woo! Because we are the #1 health and wellness radio live stream show in the country. Woo! There you go.
And coupon code this week is stress-free, no caps, no spaces.
All one word, stress-free.
That's free shipping.
Free You love to spend my money, don't you?
Well, until I can offer them a dollar amount for free shipping.
Right.
It's best I can do.
All right. Free shipping, folks. Stressfree.com. All right, we got to run. Thanks for tuning in on all your social medias. Hey, share this with your friends. Tell your friends about the show. Catch you next week.